Hey, good Tuesday morning, everybody. It's meteorologist Brad Panovich. Well, we've got to talk about the rain chances the next couple of days, and in particular, Halloween. Obviously, everybody's worried about the rain on Halloween, and for good reason, because this isn't just going to be about rain. Because rain is inconvenient. Sure, you have umbrellas and you're going to have to work around it. But my bigger concern for Halloween is actually severe weather, and I'm going to explain why here in a minute. So let's start with the view this morning. We had the clouds move in, the low level moisture. We're kind of socked in. We're not going to see a lot of sunshine the next couple of days, so don't count on seeing any bright skies anytime soon. It's mainly low clouds right now. We've got a southeast wind, which is basically pushing in moisture, banking it up against the mountains. At the same time, we've got this cluster of showers and rain to our south that's going to be moving in. So can't rule out some stray showers today, but most of it's going to be mist or drizzle. The heavy stuff is staying to our south. Notice the clouds are keeping us generally in the 60s and 50s. We could top out in the low 70s as we get into the afternoon, but I think the clouds are really going to stay thick most of the day and really prevent any major sunshine from coming out. But that's not even really the main driver of our system. The main storm is back here, and we've got a series of fronts, one here and an Arctic front here that are both heading our way. And that's really going to play a big part in what happens not only tomorrow, but for Halloween, because I expect these two fronts to head our way and produce the potential for maybe some strong or severe storms. So let's go to the models here first. And before I get too far into that, I want to show you just the severe weather outlook for today. And you can see the low threat down here across Texas and Louisiana. I'm going to go to tomorrow, and you can see the severe weather threat to our west. And then I'm going to go to Halloween, and this is why I'm a little concerned about Halloween. You could see the low threat for severe weather across a big chunk of Western Virginia, West Virginia, Eastern Tennessee, and the Carolinas. So this is the lowest on our threat level right now. This could go up or down based on the timing of the front, but that's a real concern going into Halloween. So what I'm showing you right now is our NAM model. This is a model that will go all the way through Friday, just to kind of show you the layout of the line. You can see the two fronts back to the west. I'm actually going to take those fronts off of here real quickly, just because I don't want that to be something that gets in your way. So I'm going to hide those. That way it doesn't confuse you. So here we are. You see the model time up in the corner here. If you look at the time, I'll point up there, right there. This will tell you the time. So this is at basically 10:30 this morning. So we'll go through time into the afternoon hours, and you can see the rain starts to increase from south to north. And again, nothing really heavy, but probably persistent drizzle, mist, and light showers. I'll stop this on Wednesday morning, right around 7 a.m. So you could see some pretty good rain around. I know there's a big field trip. A lot of people ask me about field trip into the Shield Museum. I don't see downpours here, but it's pretty persistent light rain, drizzle, and mist. And Wednesday's by far the wettest day of the week, just because I think it'll be most consistent and kind of the closest to an all-day rain, because you can see the rain is pretty much sticking around through the morning hours into the afternoon. But the real concern is what's going on to our west. We've got a series of cold fronts here, one here, and then a secondary front here. They're going to kind of merge together and become one powerful front. So we'll pay attention to that in a minute. But this is 2 o'clock on Wednesday, so light rain around. There might be a lull that develops at some point Wednesday, but I don't think it'll be a big lull. So we'll go towards Halloween morning. So this is noon or 1 p.m. Halloween afternoon, so 12:52. But again, Halloween doesn't look like a washout, because I think part of the day will actually be somewhat dry. The real question here is how much sunshine or thinning of the clouds do we get here, because there's going to be a strong, what we call low-level jet coming in that will provide a lot of warm, moist air, potentially for strong storms. But if the clouds and the showers stay persistent in the first half of the day, I know that doesn't seem like a great scenario for Halloween, but that actually deters our severe weather threat. So as we go through the day, you'll see by 4 o'clock, we'll get to 5 o'clock, well, this jumps ahead because it goes 3-hour increments. So this is about 4 o'clock. You could see maybe trick-or-treating starting fine, but look at that line of storms back to the west. That's a concern to me, because that would be bad timing, because there would be enough instability here that once the front starts to move through by 7, 8 o'clock, starts crossing over, you could see it moving across the Piedmont. We might have a line of pretty strong storms. So again, somewhere in here, right during trick-or-treating prime time, we could have severe thunderstorms moving through the area and then moving off. I guess the good news is this thing is picking up and flying off to the east. Now, this is why this is all based on timing. If this thing speeds up or slows down, it could miss trick-or-treating hours. We're talking about a very narrow window, 4 or 5 hours there. I would say more 4 hours, 5 p.m. to like 8 p.m. Thursday night. That's a really short time period, and just subtle changes in the speed of this front will drastically change the timing. But I just want to warn you that this is not just going to be rain. This is potentially severe thunderstorms. So while it's okay to be out in the rain with an umbrella trick-or-treating, it's not okay to be outside with lightning, thunder, and maybe even severe storms. So this is something to stay weather aware of as we go towards Halloween, that the potential that the storms that move in aren't just going to be your garden variety storms. They're probably going to be severe in some cases. And just to show you those ingredients, we'll go back to our other map here. And again, this is looking at basically Halloween. This is what we call thunderstorm fuel. We call it CAPE. You don't need to know what that means. It's an acronym for convectively available potential energy. Basically thunderstorm fuel. Look at it as gasoline for storms. The more of it you have, the bigger the potential for storms. And in this case, if you have a little bit, but you have a whole bunch of wind shear, you can overcome not having a bunch of fuel. So as long as you have that wind shear, you can still get some strong storms. So let's go through Halloween. And again, this is in the morning hours. We'll go into the afternoon. And you can see how the CAPE, or that thunderstorm fuel, kind of spikes around 2 p.m. on Halloween. That's a pretty good bunch of CAPE here. It's around, it's over 1,000, about 1,500 joules per kilogram, we call it. So anything above 1,000, at this setup, I'm going to be watching carefully. And you can see even as we go towards 5 p.m., right during trick-or-treating, look at the thunderstorm fuel peaking across our area. Let's look at the wind shear, just to real quickly show you the wind shear. There's a whole bunch of wind shear as well. So a lot of wind shear, a lot of thunderstorm fuel, and that's going to set the stage for this line moving in, and this line's moving into it. So this is 8 p.m. on Halloween. So you could see everything's lining up right now, which is not good news. So there's a look at the future radar, 8 p.m. Halloween. Look at that line of storms. Here's the wind shear off the charts. And here's our CAPE, our thunderstorm fuel. Tons of it. So the other thing I look at is updraft helicity. Do we have any spinning or rotating storms? And if I look through this, the good news is I don't see a ton of it showing up right now. So straight line winds would be my primary concern with this setup, but I definitely can't rule out a quick spin up. And if we see a spin up, it's going to be because something forms ahead of the line here. And if this line gets squiggly, remember, our squiggly line is not good. Straight line like this, which the model's indicating, would primarily be strong straight line winds. So looking at that at 8 p.m. with all those ingredients, I would be concerned about thunderstorms. But again, timing. This line, again, people always wonder, why it's so hard to forecast. This thing picks up speed of 5 miles per hour multiplied by the next, 80 hours. That thing's going to be over here. It slows down 5 miles per hour. That shifts it back in here. So those subtle changes for just that 4-hour window on Halloween is really crucial. So this will kind of what we call a nowcasting thing, but something to pay attention to, and just put this in the back of your mind. Have a rain plan, have a backup plan right now for trick-or-treating. There's just no other way to plan right now. And on Thursday, let's hope things change and we can get out there and there won't be any issues. But I would have a backup plan right now. And I'm already seeing people change their plans, at least the big events in some of these towns, which is a wise choice with the severe weather threat. Of course, I will have updates throughout the next couple of days. Check back. This will not be my last vlog on this subject.